and welcome to Taff's Word. This is going to be another update on our pre-season, and there is an awful lot to talk about. Everything from the renovation of the new training base, going to Spain for the training camp, new signings, playing against the Egyptian champions in a friendly match, who's going to be the new captain, when's the kit coming out, are we seeing any more faces, who's going out, and who are we getting in the Checkatrade Trophy in the group stages. Also a little update on our current season ticket sales. But let's start from the beginning, which is our pre-season got underway on Thursday last week. Great to see some images of the guys, starting to work hard, doing some running. They were in Cumbrian Stadium running around the running track there. So God knows why they're in Cumbrian Stadium, why not Spitty? But there must be something to do with Spitty Park being unavailable at the moment for training, possibly. But the one good thing to see down there is the renovation of the old Bar Amber. I mean, just seeing images of the club's achievement over the last few years and seeing memorabilia from many years ago everywhere. It really gives a real feel for the history of the club, and it's got to be great for the players to be congregating there every day for their training. Another good thing is the Spanish training camp. Now, a few cynics may mention the amount of money we'll spend on sending the players to Spain. Personally, I'd rather see it as a great bonding opportunity for the team. Great to see that the new guys could be well integrated, on a nice, hard-working, of course, training camp trip away. During which, in that training camp, we last night, quite unexpectedly, ended up taking on Al Ali in a friendly match. For those who may not know who that is, they are the current champions of the Egyptian League and arguably possibly one of the best teams in the entire continent of Africa. We managed to get a 1-1 draw. We scored through a Podrigaman penalty and they equalised not too long later. And a 1-1 draw against arguably the best team from a great footballing continent like Africa. We've seen some great players come from there over the years. I mean, to actually beat who is potentially the best team on that continent. Not beat, but I mean, obviously get the draw. Absolutely great, I know it's only a friendly match, so you can't really read much into it. But, it just goes to show, I think, that we're preparing ourselves for the next season really well in comparison to last year. Last year's pre-season regime came under an awful lot of criticism due to signs of match sharpness lacking in our opening game away at Mansfield, which we obviously end up losing 3-0. Didn't seem like the worst result in the world, considering a weaker Mansfield team the season before beat us 5-0 there. And, we ended up going further than them in the playoffs at the end of the season anyway, so it didn't really matter. But I think we had to pick things up quite quickly, and we did by obviously beating Crewe and then Cambridge in the Carabao Cup. It was great. It's great to see that we may be preparing for the season better, so we may get an even better start than last year. So a great draw against Al Ali. A fringe team are up in Morton in the Marsh tonight for the game, so we'll see how we get on up there. Some of the older school county fans will certainly would have wanted to have made the trip up there. I would have, but worked till late. That sort of thing. It's just too much for me to get up there and back, on a Friday. It's just a shame, really. If it was a Saturday, I'd have been up there in a shot. So today we announced 2 signings. The first of which, as you can see right here, is George Nurse. He is on loan from Bristol City. Another Bristol City loanee. This is the 3rd season in a row we've had loanees from them. We've had some successful loanees from them. Fair play. Like I say, just look at the likes of Semenyo, Baconson, Cameron Pring, Sean McCulskey. It just goes to show that, we're taking players on loan from them, and, we're doing them really good. The gaffer had this to say: George will give us competition down the left side, so I'm taking he's a left-sided fullback. He is very comfortable both going forward and defending. And this move also continues our excellent relationship with Bristol City, obviously, which I just touched on there. Upon completing the deal, this is what George had to say: I'm delighted to join the club. It's a great move for me, a good step up from my time at Weston last season. I'm really looking forward to getting started. So obviously he spent the season on loan at Weston last year, so it's a 2-division jump up. But for those who say, why are we bringing in players who were playing in 2 divisions below us last year, I think all players have to play somewhere. I mean, Harry Kane was on loan at Leyton Orient, for God's sake, in League One. And they look at him, he's arguably the best striker in the world. Not saying that this player is going to be one of the best left-backs in the world, obviously that's not what I mean by that. But, at the end of the day, he's got to get given his game time somewhere. Why not with us, especially if there's something about him and if he can do both. You'll put some competition in, hopefully, for this next signing. So, as you'll see now, Ryan Haynes has signed from Shrewsbury. It says an undisclosed fee, so we're not paying too much money for players, because I know historically we don't tend to spend money on players, although we have got a bit in the bank, so it means that we can bring in a better quality of player, then so be it. This is what Flinney had to say. Ryan is a very talented fullback. Hopefully, I think he plays down the left, so hopefully we're seeing him as a replacement for Dan Butler. I'm delighted to have got him. I've spoken to a few people about him, and they all believe he's a very good. There is a very good player there. A lot of good murmurings around, about this signing. So I'm absolutely thrilled to have, a player with such pedigree coming to play for us. Ex-Coventry as well as playing for Shrewsbury last season. I think we bagged ourselves another good one there. So I think we got some really good fullbacks. And it just goes to show that fullbacks who come forward are very much the basis of success. I mean, the fullback position was the weak spot for Man City before they became their dominant force. And now you look at the quality of the fullbacks at Liverpool. So the two best teams in this country are basically thriving off of having two good fullbacks. So not saying that we're going to be one of the best teams in the country because we got two decent fullbacks. Just saying that it could be a good basis for some success. Right then, so we've talked about players incoming. Two bits of news that came out today. We were certainly expecting to hear this player was going to sign. It's not so much common knowledge to the point where it's expected because of his inclusion on the summer training camp in Spain, is that Mickey Dimitri will be signing on for a further 2 years. I mean, the 2-year deals are certainly a common theme for our summer business. So, Mickey Dimitri, is he going to be signing? I made an earlier pre-season prediction that he would not. I'm going to change that now because I think it's a done deal that's waiting to be announced. Not that I have any basis on that, but that's just what I think it is. I'm absolutely delighted that I'm wrong about that one. I wish I was wrong about them all except for the fact that I said Labardi and Dolan would sign on, which they did. I'll definitely take being wrong on this one. So, one of the things that no one's really talked about at the moment is the captaincy for next season. And believe it or not, I actually believe, potentially, this could be a 6-horse race to be the captain for next year. Flinney hasn't announced who it'll be. I know it started off with Andrew Crofts last season with Dimitri was vice-captain. I think it changed a little bit, whereas Mark O'Brien became captain for the majority of games. Dimitri captained a couple. I think even Dan Butler might captain 1 or 2 as well. But here is a collage, something I made earlier, of the 6 players I think are in the running to be captain for next season. Obviously, a 6-horse race, but you've got your obvious favourites and your obvious outsiders. Starting at the top left with Mark O'Brien, I think either captain or vice-captain is the likely shape for him, being captain seen us in a very successful end of the season last year. Podge has been a massive example on the pitch. He is an example of, a good leadership example, of someone who works particularly hard, which could rub off on the rest of the team. So I think he's certainly in with a shade to be captain, although I wouldn't expect, I think he'd be one of your outside choices. Scott Bennett was captain under Warren Feeney. Not an obvious choice, I know, but because he has captained the team before, I think he's going to be in the discussion at least. So another outside chance, but who knows. Mickey Dimitri, because he was vice-captain last season, I don't think he'll be given the role of captain. But whoever does take the role of captain, he could well be their vice-captain. Josh Labardi, of course, captained us to the Great Escape, and obviously captained us not last season, but the season before. I imagine if he'd have signed on immediately, he would have been our captain last season, so I would have to put him as favourite, personally. to be the captain for next season. And I think we've got to include Marvel Ekpetita as a potential captain because he was the captain at Hungerford. So I think he got to be in with a shade. If he's captained elsewhere, it means that he's got the pedigree to be a captain. Again, one of your outside shots, but certainly in with the in being part of the conversation, of course. Moving on then, there's a lot of discontent around the kit launch and a lot of people wondering when is it going to happen. There's been no announcement of our sponsor. Have we got one? We don't know. Are we just waiting for that to be announced? Is there a hold-up or anything like that? We don't know an awful lot about the kit. So what I would like is to hopefully get some kind of word from the club. You know, at least say we're expecting the kits to be in around about this time. At least then people can set their minds at a relative ease from there. Moving on then, looking at further signings. Now, personally, I think we're set for the majority of positions, although I think we could do with another midfielder, one more midfielder, whether it be an understudy type or whether we get the Sammy Smodics type player that I've been banging on about, or whether Josh Sheehan is going to be that player for us next season. Don't know is the answer for that, but I do think that we could do with a bit more squad depth in midfield. Are we going to utilise a loan signing for midfield? Would Tyreek Baconson be coming back, having hopefully learned a lot of playing League 2 football last season? I think he knows what to do and what not to do now. Could he come back? Personally, I'd be against that because of how his form dipped dramatically in the second half of the season, although you wouldn't rule anything out, and you never know. You never know. He may be a bit more up for it this time. Talking about people leaving now, and there is a strong rumour that COO Guy Price has handed in his resignation, apparently before Wembley. People saying that he's been gone for weeks. People talking about, is he gone? We don't know. Bit of a shock to everybody. I only heard this morning from a rumour from somebody, which I cleared up as that they say that he is gone. I'd imagine this should be something the club should communicate, because surely by now we should be looking to replace him, and there should be a vacancy advertisement put up on the club website. Personally, I don't think there's any need to put an advertisement up, although I know, legally they got to. I think that there's a man there waiting to take on the role, and his name is James Watts. He knows the club, he knows the city. He's got contacts for hundreds of thousands of pounds worth of sponsors that will come back to the club if he was in charge of things. He knows how to run a football club. He's been a massive success at Hereford. He's certainly gained himself some pedigree, and I think he's ready for it. So hopefully he'll come back. Especially someone running the show's really got the club at heart. Because I don't think our last few leaders of the organisational side of it have, to be honest with you. I mean, Alex Tunbridge was a Stevenage fan, although I think he cared about the club. As a Stevenage fan, Guy Price has left. Didn't really speak an awful lot to many supporters, so I think for him it was just a job. Jason Turner was a complete and utter muppet. Anthony Redwood took the club to court. So James Watts coming in, who actually cares about the club, caring that much that I learned quite recently that his first season at the club, he was offered some commission for the money he made, and he actually donated it to the club as part of the takeover. No, not the takeover, sorry. I know he certainly put a lot of money himself into that, which he didn't really told many people. I hope he forgives me for blurting it out on here. But he actually gave the club the money back for his commission after his first year when we first got promoted to League 2. He could have taken a fair bit of money. But he gave it to the club to put towards the playing budget, so fair play to him. An absolute, dead cert for me to take on the running of the club. But it's not my decision to make, it's our directors. Hopefully they see the potential in him and bring him back. So the Checkatrade Trophy draw has seen us drawn in group number, if I can read this thing, group number, it's not even a number, it's group letter E. We're in group E along with Exeter City, Cheltenham Town and West Ham under-21s. So the one home tie we know is a dead cert will be West Ham, because the under-21 teams play all their ties away. So personally, I'd rather have Exeter at home. So Cheltenham is a bit closer than what Exeter is. We'll see how it works out. I think Exeter, I think we're the closest one for them as well. I think Cheltenham's a little stretch further up, so they'd prefer to play us at our place. So it's something that would work out for everybody, I think, because I think it would mean Cheltenham would go down to Exeter, but who cares about the Cheltenham fans and how far they got to travel? Sod them. People leaving the club. Well, not so much leaving, but young defender Jay Alston is off out on loan, which for me is further validation that Mickey Dimitri was signing, because I'm sure if Mickey Dimitri wasn't, then Jay Alston would be utilised next season. He may not be fully ready. I mean, he played a very successful loan spell at Merthyr last season, but I think a move to Chippenham, a division above where Merthyr are at the moment, is a step up for him, obviously. He does look a talented player whenever I've seen him play in the Checkatrade Trophy games before. Hopefully he'll pick an awful lot up from Chippenham, and he'll come back to us a stronger player and will be ready for League One football with us next season. Season ticket sales as of 3 days ago, and this is the final part I've got to talk about now. Season ticket sales as of 3 days ago was at 1,500. I'm still yet to get mine. I will be getting one. Hopefully there'll be at least 500 more, because Flynn has set his sights on 2,000 season ticket sales, which would be absolutely phenomenal, considering on average, if you can imagine, the average season ticket's costing about £150, because I've got your adult ones, your kids ones, your disabled ones, plus a carer on some cases. So if we just say £150 is the average price for a season ticket, and you sell 2,000, so roughly we're making 300k on season tickets before the season's even started. Hopefully then on the knock-on effect, we're going to get many people through the gates next season, and we'll have a bloody good crowd, which will roar us into League One. Automatic promotion this time though, hopefully. Playoffs, as fun as they were, they're a nerve-wracking experience and a very painful one to lose in as well, so hopefully we can just go up automatically. But there's some stiff competition next season, so we've got to be ready for it, and with the pre-season we got to install, hopefully that is going to provide us with what we need to prepare adequately enough for it. So yeah, thanks all for watching. Hopefully you're enjoying these these new, more informative Taff's words. I think this is more of a news show than just me spouting off my opinions on things. I think it's more useful for you guys, the viewers. So, I think this is going to be the structure of it from there on. We are going to be looking for another sponsor for those of you who may be interested. If you're business owners, or you're part of the running of a business, or you know someone who may be interested, we are looking for a sponsor. And also, if you're on our Facebook page, take a look at what you could win if you enter our latest competition, and the winner will be getting drawn live on Taff Live on Sunday, starting at 7 PM. So make sure you're tuned in if you've already entered. If you haven't already entered, get onto Facebook, find it, and you'll stand a chance. These are the home programmes from our 3 big FA Cup games last season. That was Leicester, Middlesbrough and Man City, all signed by last season's squad. A very, very unique collector's piece for you. And if you don't win that, make sure you're in the competition to try and win it for free, mind you. Because if you don't win that, there will be one going up on auction on Sunday night. Plus, we will be holding a giveaway on here once we hit 2,750 subscribers. And that, again, will be on a Taff Live for the best question asked during the stream. So yeah, thank you all for watching. That's it for now. Thanks. Always happy to deliver the county news to you guys, and thankfully I'm doing it in a better way now. So yeah, thank you again, and until the next time, cheer for now, and as always, up the county. Many thanks for watching the latest content on the Amber Army channel. Please make sure you leave us a like. Make sure you subscribe for more content, both for the neutral football fan and also plenty of Newport County. Even more Newport County content can be found on the club's iFollow channel on the link above. It is just £4.49 per month to subscribe to that service. And those of you feeling extra generous can also support us on Patreon on the link at the bottom there. That would be a monthly donation of your choice. Thank you again. Make sure you've subscribed, and as always, up the county.